All right. You got some news?
Yeah.
Do you?
Yeah, you want to do news right now?
Yeah, let's do it.
Let's do it. All right, so getting to that Cheryl Hines story. Cheryl Hines clashes with The View over husband RFK Jr.'s record for serving Americans. The health secretary's wife pushes back on claims that he is the least qualified HHS head in history. As Sonny Hostin went on about the problem, respectfully, is that your husband is the least qualified Department of Health and Human Services that we have ever had in history. He has also spread a lot of misinformation, a lot of chaos, a lot of confusion, and I think it is very dangerous. I say that with the utmost respect. We got a clip.
People spread a lot of misinformation, a lot of chaos, a lot of confusion.
Oh, clap it up. Clap it up.
It's just a very dangerous thing. I say it with the utmost respect.
Some of it's good and some of it's not. That's the point.
Listen, we all have different views here.
Yes.
And when you say, misinformation, disinformation, we could go back to COVID when...
He's connecting circumcision.
All right.
May I finish?
I'll pause it there for a second. First off, they hate COVID talk.
Yeah.
They fucking hate COVID talk because it's 5 minutes old and they're all fucking liars.
Yeah.
Or stupid or liar. She brings up COVID and you go into circumcision. Also, they go, all the misinformation, like it's that thing. It's like, listen, what happened to Charlie Kirk was wrong. I disagree with everything that came out of his mouth, but it was still wrong. It's like, what do you disagree with? You disagree with everything that came out of his mouth. Everything, yeah. Everything. So when he said, take care of your family and raise your kids, or disagreement with that, you didn't disagree with, they do it all the time. I just disagree. How much look, we just had a pandemic. Ladies of The View, so it's easy to keep score. Let's just take the shit he said about COVID versus the stuff you guys said about COVID, and we'll get a batting average. Okay, so no one is batting 1,000, but let's see who has a higher batting average. And I will put my net worth on him. So what are you talking about? All the misinformation. Yeah. I love it. They go, all the stuff. Yeah. No one's going to be perfect in their batting average. His is much higher than yours. Okay, but let her finish. Sorry.
May I finish?
Please.
When people were saying when you get the vaccine, you cannot transmit COVID. It will stop COVID. And that was disinformation, misinformation.
We were also still learning about it. It was a novel virus
and
we've never encountered before.
Right.
Because now the doctors will acknowledge that it
and Dr. Fauci has a medical degree.
At the time, they were censoring
All right,
Bobby.
pause it there. Dr. Fauci has a medical degree. That's right. That's why he was able to do gain of function in a Wuhan lab. Chris Carolla does not have a medical degree, so she wouldn't be able to do gain of function research in a Wuhan lab behind people's backs. And she wouldn't need to be pardoned for that reason either. So, first, I love the medical degree. Yes, everyone who was either wrong about COVID or lied about COVID had a medical degree that you guys threw in our face. There's also many people with medical degrees that were correct that you shunned and said need to be deplatformed. Yeah. So I'm not sure how this medical degree part works, ladies of The View, but as soon as you bring up COVID, they go, we didn't know. You never said you didn't know. You said you knew.
Yeah.
So it's stupid or liar. In his case, Fauci was lying. But I love the backtrack of we're fucking retarded and we don't know anything. And by the way, then why should we listen to you when you make decrees? Okay, because your argument is, why are you listening to me? So it'd be like you and I are driving to the club, and I go, Rudy, I got this. I've been in this club a million times. Go right up here on Hoover Street, and then take that straight away to Adams Avenue, and then we'll go down to Martin Luther King, and then at some point we're out of town.
Yeah, well, Adam, I know you have your way, but listen, I saw a shortcut through that ditch.
Yeah, okay. We're in the middle of the barrio. We're not near the club. And then you go, what the fuck? And I go, well, why are you listening to me?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't have a degree. I don't have a driver's license.
I'm not Magellan.
Yeah.
Yes, because I spoke with authority for a long time, and I told you where to go the whole time. And at the end, when you say you didn't know where you were going, my excuse is, why are you listening to me? Because I don't know anything.
I was still learning the way.
Right.
I mean, during that time, we were still learning the way.
Right, but you're trying to get people deplatformed, fired from their jobs, thrown out of the fire department, lose their pension, locked out of their jobs. Yeah. But you didn't know anything. Okay, so you shut the beaches and you shut outdoor dining, but you didn't know. And okay, what else don't you know for the next crisis that comes up? Okay, and then are you basically saying then we shouldn't listen to you because you don't know shit and you talk with authority? And by the way, you didn't end anything with a question mark. It was exclamation point. Everything was I know. Remember, Fauci was science. You didn't believe in him. You missed out on the science part. So the I know crowd now backpedals. And again, their excuses were imbeciles and we're incompetent and we didn't know anything. That's the best we got.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, bitches. We're not listening to you then.
Yeah.
There's more. I think there's. You can go back like 10 seconds. I do love when you bring up COVID and misinformation. Foreskin.
Encountered before.
Right.
Because now the doctors will acknowledge that it
And Dr.
can't.
Fauci has a
at
medical
the time, they were
degree.
censoring Bobby because Bobby said, where's the science to show us this? And there wasn't any. But people attacked him and said, you're wrong. So it's like, let's take a step back. I know that's your opinion, and that's okay.
Spread a lot.
Yeah. Well, a lot of the other stuff that they talked about in this that I love Cheryl for, because it feels like Cheryl's her winds are starting to change a little bit as time is going on. And maybe she's sort of seeing that her political party is full of shit.
I think so. Also, she needed to navigate Hollywood for a long time.
Sure.
Now, okay. So here's Larry David's a fucking nut job. He's a political lefty, insane person. Like he may be, let's see, he would be left of Mark Ruffalo. Or maybe tied in the political nut job insanity, global climate change, just fuckstick retard, super hard left. So
he's great in task.
Your boss is a super hard left dude, super hard. And you don't know when you're coming back for the last season. So what are you going to do? Put on a MAGA hat and stroll down the boardwalk at Venice Beach? I don't think so. Hollywood people are pussies and they know where the fucking bread's coming from, and they just shut up and suck a dick because they're cowards. So she wasn't going to upset the apple cart over there at HBO, especially with Larry David.
Yeah.
So she had to just shut up. Now she's in charge.
Yeah.
Her man's in the catbird seat. It used to be shut up and don't piss off Larry David because he's a fucking lunatic and a leftist. Now it's the season's wrapped. That's it. No more Curb Your Enthusiasm. Oh, and my guy is Trump's guy and Trump's president. So now she's like, fuck y'all.
Yeah.
See what I'm saying?
Why doesn't it work the other way, though? Like, how come guys like us can look at Larry David and go, absolute comedic genius, we can sit and watch Curb Your Enthusiasm. Somebody who's on the left can't watch something that you put out, or like a Tyler Fisher, or something that the Daily Wire puts out. They did that movie a few years ago. What was it called? Something with the balls, something? I'm
yeah.
But why is it that
the all-male team, transgender, said they were going to go play basketball against the girls.
So why is it that we have no problem going the other way and watching people who
why are we so much better than everyone else? Tell you why.
Basically what I'm saying.
I want you to cut me off at minute 22. They do this thing all the time, and I believe that they hurt their argument. Because when people dig into me, they go, he said this, he said that, he did this, did that, and they'll go, the unfunny Adam Carolla, blah, blah, blah. Now, there is no way of units to measure funny, but I'm funnier than all these people. You can't say that I'm not funny because that's what I've been doing for 30 years and I haven't missed a day. So so you can't, like, you can go, you can say, I can go, fuck LeBron James, he's a race hustler. And that guy sucks at basketball. Because now I seem like an idiot.
Yeah.
Because he clearly doesn't suck at basketball, and I clearly don't suck at comedy. Otherwise, I wouldn't do it for as long as I have done it. Mm-hmm. And by the way, pre-politics, I was considered funny by the same people. So
Sure.
did you you decided I wasn't funny at some point? Mm-hmm. So they have to work an emotional component into everything, which is the unfunny, not going to watch that, versus a separation. Because I would say about Jon Stewart, let's say, I would go, well, I disagree with a lot of his political stances, but he's a good dude. He pays taxes. He loves his country, and he's good to his kids. All right. Now, the other side is I disagree with the political stances, and he's Hitler. Mm-hmm. Right. And the one that's always weird is they'll go, his policy, Ron DeSantis' policy of cruelty. That's what he is. He's an evil dog catcher from a Disney movie from the 60s,
Put
right?
cats in bags.
Right. He's cruel. He hates kids and he's cruel. Yeah, that's Ron DeSantis. He's cruel, you fucking idiots. Just say you disagree. And also, you hurt your argument when you start piling on. Mm-hmm. It's that sort of when you're a kid, you go, at some point the guy beats you verbally and you'd go, oh, fine, but I'm not. You're fat.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, you've been defeated. Because you're arguing over something, and now you just had to yell out that the guy was fat. So they can't do it because the argument isn't enough. They lose the argument. They're not going to win the argument, so they have to add on the extra spiritual, moral things of being cruel or evil or racist or bigot, homophobic, xenophobic. They have to tack on all the window dressing because the argument just based on the merits of the argument or the policy that's not going to work because the numbers don't pencil out in that department. So then they have to go to this sort of cruelty department, so you go, I don't think we should raise the minimum wage. Because you raise it to $20 an hour, as they did here in California, and there's a lot of people out of work, and a lot of businesses going under, and a lot of kiosks now, and automation, and robotation, and all the stuff that we're going to get rid of. We're going to put these people out of work. And then you can't argue the numbers. You're not going to be able to argue the numbers. It's going to raise the price of the food. Businesses are going to go out. They're going to start cutting back on staff, and everyone's going to be part-time. No one full-time. All right. So you can't make that argument. So you say, I believe mothers should get a living wage, and you're cruel for wanting to deny them and their children food because you can't make an argument that works with the numbers. Yeah. So you start working the emotional side of it, and you'll see it when you argue with your kids. What's a kid say? What's a kid say who doesn't make the team? Who's 9, who comes home from school? Coach hates me. Coach hates me. That's an emotional argument. Not you fucking suck at baseball. It's coach hates me. Not if I worked harder and learned to hit a curve or whatever it is. It's coach hates me, right? That's an emotional argument. You just got an F in your history class. What? The teacher has it out for me. These are emotional arguments because you can't compete. Yeah. You're not writing the book reports. You're not doing the homework. You're not doing the work. So everything boils down to this person's cruel. This person doesn't want families to eat this one. You're making an emotional argument because your numbers aren't working in the stats department of the argument.
Yeah, the best Charlie Kirk videos are the ones where he talks people back into a corner and then they go, you got a big head. Right. And then they turn around and run away. I've showed so many people those videos and go, because they would disagree with everything he would say for no reason. It was just like, I hate this guy. And I go, well, do you love your family? Do you want peace? Do you want a nice community? Yeah, well, that's what this guy wants. You disagree on 20% of what he says.
I know. All right, we have a video of Larry David finding out on that show. This is my favorite show. We just bring progressive rich white dudes and tell them their family's own slaves.
This isn't AI, is it?
It's just such an odd combination on my father's side of the Germany and the South.
Yeah.
Two places that we have fought against as a country.
Yeah, right.
Oh my goodness. I hope no slaves show up on this
Please turn the page. Now, Larry, this is another part of the 18th.
Oh, you did it! You did it! I knew it! Unbelievable.
Unbelievable.
Boy.
That's unbelievable.
Oh, boy. Name of the slave owner, Henry Bernstein. My great-grandfather was a slave owner.
Dun, dun, dun,
Slaves,
dun,
one
dun,
female,
dun.
age
Earnestly
4
bigots,
mulatto.
just asking.
One female, age 17 mulatto. Oh, Professor, I'm so sorry. You can see why my father didn't want to tell me anything about his family.
All right. So there you go, Mr. Pius.
Yeah.
Okay. Can we just do this? And I mean it. With what's Larry David's net worth? Okay. Can we do something like this? And they talk about reparations all the time. We argue about reparations. And then some people go, my family wasn't even in this country, blah, 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 blah. Okay, so my kid's mom's family is all born in Italy. My dad's parents are born in Italy, and nobody's known anything here but poverty. There's no slave owners with the Carollas.
Yeah.
We're too new to this country. Like, my kids have no slave owner reparation, anything. There's nothing there.
Yeah. Well, you had slaves, except for your mom bought them used at a garage sale.
Yes, we'd go slave dumpster diving on Friday nights. She covered one with a sheet, which is in poor taste. That's what she do with her sofa. All right, Larry David's net worth is $400 million. He's 77 years old, so he's not going to be able to spend that money with the time he's got left on this planet. So he and his party, and he's very progressive, are for reparations.
Sure.
And he has a history of slave ownership in his family. And so does Ben Affleck, whose net worth is $600 million. And so does, who else did we talk about? We talked about Andrew. Ben Affleck has this. Who was the other guy who was revealed? Oh, Sonny Hostin. All right. From The View.
Wow. No kidding.
Yeah. Okay. So you guys are all bleeding heart liberals, and you're for reparations, and your family has slave ownership, and you're all multimillionaires. I don't have your money, and my family has no history with this, and I'm against reparations. So
Sure.
I'm 0 for 3. You guys are 3 for 3. Why not cough up some cash? Why not just get that side of the aisle who is for reparations? And here's all it'll be easy. If you're for reparations and there's a history of slave ownership and your net worth is more than $30 million, then you cut a check. That'll be a substantial amount of money. I mean, look, Larry David's net worth could go from 400 million to 375. It's not going to put a dent in his bank account.
Sure.
And there's Sonny Hostin can cut a check. Ben Affleck can cut a check. They can all cut a check, and then they could get what they want, which is reparations.
Yeah.
Hold on. Do you want reparations? Yes. Okay. Good news.
Yeah.
Great news. Great news. Your family owns slaves and you're rich. So you cut a check. What about Carolla? Carolla's family didn't own slaves. He doesn't have your net worth, and he's not for reparations. So cut a check, Mr. Reparation guy, who never will cut a check, by the way. But it's pretty easy. Why isn't Jasmine Crockett pitch this? Like, why isn't somebody like, let's just look, let's see if you own slaves, see what your net worth is, and let's do it.
Yeah, aren't we paying for our white privilege, though? Isn't that?
Yes.
Yeah, that's what we have to do.
Every time I travel.
I know. And, man, I got pulled over on my way to a gig the other night, and the police officer let me go with a warning. And when I called somebody, I was on the phone telling them about it, and they go, well, there's that white privilege kicking in. I was like, no, that's the respectful hands up on the steering wheel where they can see them. Sir, do you mind if I reach into my glove box and grab my registration? Sir, I'm going to reach around and grab my wallet. All the whole time being incredibly respectful. And at the end of it, and it was a Latino cop. Guy walks up and goes, hey, man, just keep it slow in these small towns. I said, no problem, officer. Have a great night. And that's how you get out. It's not because he walked in and was like, oh, Whitey, keep moving, bud.
Well, by the way, the majority of cops in L.A. are, black or brown or women or something.
Yeah.
It's not that good old. It's not like Murph, the redhead from Union 76, comes out. You don't know who Murph is. Murph. If you find me a commercial from Murph of Union 76, that's the whitest dude
He had a
ever.
hound dog too, right?
Oh.
Murph?
Didn't he?
I don't know if Murph had a hound dog. He was the friendly guy.
Yeah.
By the way, they would run these commercials in L.A., and that's what I thought going to the gas station was going to be like. When I got older and got a license, got a car, I didn't know it'd be the steely-eyed Middle Eastern guy going, no, it can't, no. Pump 3, no pump for you, no pump, no. I didn't know it was that behind the bulletproof glass.
Sure.
I thought Murph was going to
come out. Yeah.
He's going to come out and go, can I check your oil?
Always have a rag wiping oil off his hand. Yeah.
Murph was the whitest dude who was the most helpful guy. The noise would go off, bing, bing, the bell when you'd go over the air hose. That would alert Murph. Murph would come out, check that tire pressure, check that oil level.
Check that oil. Yeah. Pop that hood. Your PSI's a little low on that front left, Mr. Higgins. Don't worry about it, though. Old Gus has got you.
Gus has got you. Murph Union 76 commercial. That's this is the one. That's the whitest guy ever. Murph's 76 station. Here
a Volkswagen Bug?
Yep.
My engine's missing and my wife won't talk to me. For newlywed, you're off to a pretty rough start.
He said he had the car tuned up.
Well, I did. You did?
Then why are we here instead of at honeymoon lodge?
Somebody probably pulled the spark plug wire. It's an old wedding drink. Turn it off. Okay, start her up. Murph, you saved my marriage. Well, getting people off to a smooth start is what the spirit of 76 is all about.
Go with the spirit.
That's funny, dude. I had an old Volkswagen
Bug,
and there was a 76 at the corner of my house, or down the street, and I would take it there to this old white guy who would fix it. And every single time he'd fix it, he'd look at me and hand me a bill and say something like, $30. Never get rid of this car.
Yeah, you can fix it. Well, you can almost fix yourself. By the way, is sabotaging someone's engine an old wedding trick?
Yeah,
I feel like
yeah.
that's a cruel joke. They're by the side of the road. It's at night. They're both buzzed.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They get hit by semi-truck.
Yeah.
Guys hopped up on trucker speed and they get cleaned out. Like it's kind of, tying cans to the back of the car, so be it.
Great, yeah.
But fucking with the distributor cap and pulling a spark plug wire and making it miss, that's a little cruel.
Yeah. I'm sorry. Hey, I banged your wife in the broom closet on your wedding night. Those old wedding gags.
Yeah, it's an old wedding gag. Yeah. So Murph just went down there and fixed it. But Murph is that's who I thought I was going to be dealing with in Los Angeles, not scary foreign guy. What is? No! Just screaming at me through the bulletproof glass.
They pull spark plug wire. Old wedding trick.
All right, you got one more?
Yeah, let's do Letitia James, New York's top law enforcer, is housing a cop-hating fugitive relative with a lengthy felony rap sheet who was twice arrested for assaulting police officers at one of her Virginia homes, according to court documents.
Her great her great granddaughter niece. So what is she?
Grandniece.
Her grandniece.
Yes.
Has a crazy rap, like felon record.
Oh, it's insane.
Or a rap sheet.
Yeah.
But it includes getting pulled over 4 times in the same day.
Oh,
like
yeah.
it's literally, it's like, I just saw this. I was like, it's so easy to avoid cops. It's so easy it's easy not to interact with cops. It's easy. You just don't do shit that attracts them. Wait, do we have the clip? Or was it good? I heard it all. Well, you can lay it out. I don't know.
Yeah, there was I didn't see a clip, but talking about her grandniece, Nikia Thompson, 36, wanted for failing to complete the terms of her parole following a 2011 arrest in Winston-Salem. In that case, she was charged with malicious conduct by a prisoner, a felony, along with assault of a government official and resisting a public officer. But then, keep going, this was 2020. since she's been living in Virginia in the house that Letitia James owns. She's been charged of possession of burglary tools, contributing to the delinquency of a minor, and grand larceny, including the summer before. In July, Thompson was hit with 4 citations in a single day, including driving 80 miles an hour in a 55-mile-an-hour zone and stopping her vehicle improperly on a highway. It was just the year before that she was ticketed once again for doing 80 in a 55 and got a summons for improper child restraint.
Yeah. So Earnestly Bigot wants to know if she got her together with the guy's been tased a million times. I think you'd find at some point their kids are going to be impervious to pepper spray and tasing.
Yeah.
Well, I will put this in perspective, and then we'll talk to Senator John Kennedy. The thing about the lawfare and the turnabout, is it fair play? And then he's using the legal system to go after, and so on and so forth. I will just paint a picture for everyone, because Letitia James ran on doing that to him.
Sure.
That she ran on saying, I'll find something and take Trump down. Okay, which is an insane thing to say into a microphone. Okay, so turnabout is fair play, and this isn't anything, and this is nothing burger. Yeah, technically she did it, but so does half of America, and whatever. Okay, I'll tell you what this is. This is basically, you're the Oakland Raiders, and you just got screwed by the tuck rule. And it's bullshit, and you don't know what it is, and you don't even know why, but you just lost the game because of Tom Brady and some rule that we didn't even know about, but they're going to the Super Bowl and you're going home because of the tuck rule. And now it's a new game and you got the ball and the Patriots are rushing your quarterback. Go ahead and call the tuck rule. Well, we're going to take that tuck rule.
Sure.
You can win the game now. And it's like, whoa, that tuck rule's bullshit. It is. But it worked for you guys, and you won the game. So now we're just going to implement the same rule. And you can go, it's a BS rule. Okay. But it worked for you guys.
Yeah.
So now we're just claiming it again.
Well, in the same breath, talking about Gavin Newsom as he was trolling Trump once again this weekend, they put out a graphic on, what was this? It was Press Office posted a photo on X of President Trump and Israeli Prime Minister Bibi Netanyahu clutching hands and comparing them to Dumb and Dumber. So you're right. They always say, hey man, we want more decorum in our politics. And now they're figuring out that doesn't work for you. So you have to troll. You have to go be that guy who's a little offensive, and you have to, start a couple of fires. And now Gavin Newsom finally figured it out. So he's got people in his press office posting stuff like this.
I get it, but does Dumb and Dumber work when you end a war and get hostages back?
Even Andrew pointed out, so you're comparing them to two lovable people? Like, what?
Ace Man, I was watching the closing credits of The Love Boat. Guess who wrote the theme song? Paul Williams. Get it on.
You can leave us a message at 888-634-1744.
Paul Williams, quietly one of the most interesting guys in show business. Wrote tons of big hit songs. Was in Smoking the Bandit. Was also in a bunch of weird Brian De Palma movies, or at least one called Phantom of the Paradise. He had a really weird, eclectic acting career, and then wrote songs for Barbra Streisand.
Did you know he had a songwriting brother as well?
Interesting.
Mentor Williams wrote Dobie Gray's Drift Away.
Mentor
Williams, Paul's brother.
So he literally...
Wow, I didn't know that.
I just found it out a couple of days ago.
Mentored him?
Yeah, he was an interesting guy. And for most of his life, he looked like Jodie Foster when Jodie Foster was 9.
Right.
They had the exact same hair. He looked like 9-year-old Jodie Foster. He's a little guy with like bangs and blonde hair.
I don't know why I find that so funny.
It's uncanny how much Paul Williams looked like Jodie Foster.
Okay.
But anyway, it's back when guys wore a few hats, back in the day.
They had to hustle.
Yeah, Mac Davis did that. He was like a songwriter. He was a singer. He was an actor. Like, they had a lot of that back then.
I actually appreciate that. Like, you want to have a little hustle.
No,
you want to have somebody that has like drive and not like a jack of all trades. Clearly, he was musically talented, or creatively talented. But like, lean into that. Do the things. Give
I
it a
agree.
shot.
I'm with you, my dear. All right, you got some news?
I do.
What do you got?
Well, did you hear about this Saudi Arabia comedy festival?
I did, and there was a funny TikTok video. Was I telling you about that, Andrew? I can't remember if I told you fine or something. It's out there. Somebody did like a rap song where they were like dissing all the comics.
That went.
Well, when Andrew finds it, then we'll know it.
Pete Davidson was one of them, and I'd heard him on a podcast recently where he was straight up asked about it, and he was like, well, they didn't, like, Singapore asked me not to be too sexual in my act, and he tried to, like, conflate the two.
Well, I mean, look, I'm not going to get all high and mighty. They did it for the money. They offered him lots of money.
So what number would you have to take in order to not talk about, how the Saudi royal family likes to kill journalists?
Well, I did the asphalt convention in Florida once, and they'll tell you, PG-13, not R. I do.
But PG-13 and not R is very different than in your contractual agreement, understanding that you cannot say anything about the government at all.
Yeah, so here's
or poke fun at them.
Well, here's how stuff works. If you say, "Hey, Pete Davidson, I'll give you $4,000 to come to the Saudi," whatever. You go, no. If you go, I'll give you $200,000. He'll go, all right.
Now we're talking.
But you can't talk about X, Y, and Z. And he'll go,
Can't talk about how the Saudis funded 9/11, in which his father died.
Right, but if I said I'll give you $1 million, then he'll take the $1 million and not talk about any of the stuff. You see what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, well,
everyone's got a price.
It's apparent. I kind of want somebody to let us know what all of these guys got paid. I mean, Bill Burr has defended this, and so has Dave Chappelle. I think the thing that frustrated me the most about Dave Chappelle, though, is that he said, "quote It's easier to talk here than it is in America."
Well, first off, this thing of like every time I turn on CNN and some blowhard's back there with an afro going, "You know what it's like to be a black man in America." It's like, it seems better than almost anywhere else. Number one, Dave Chappelle, nobody gets more love than Dave Chappelle.
From left, right, and center.
Left, right, center, black and white.
And also, does he not remember, like, when the right came to his defense when he mentioned and had all those bits about, like, trans people in his stand-up comedy, and people wanted Netflix, Reed Hastings at the time, to axe him?
Yes.
And you had people that were more centrist and to the right being like, no, let the numbers speak for itself.
Right.
He was number 1 out of the top 10 on Netflix for, 6 weeks running?
I have... The thing, whether it is Dave Chappelle or whether it's Ilhan Omar or whether it's Trevor Noah.
Ilhan probably would have kissed the ring of the Saudis, quite literally. They're her people.
Being raised as a black person in a country that is better than any other country for this, and then being rich and successful and adored, and then doing the woe is me bullshit drives me nuts. It drives me nuts. And the Ilhan Omar thing, especially when we snatch you out of a shithole and raise you somewhere nice, and then you turn on us, it drives me insane.
I think she would have been fine in that shithole, though, because, she had family that was warlords over there.
Oh, she did?
So if their
okay.
side...
Then she'd be fine.
Allegedly. I'll
right.
say that from legal,
So,
but that's what's been reported.
Everybody who did this did it for money. Okay. And when you start talking about money, people You watch Dateline or whatever, and they tell these stories of he hired a contract killer to kill his 9-month pregnant fiance. He wanted $3,300 up front and $3,300 bond. You go, you can get in this country. Most people get people killed for way under $10,000. These guys, I mean, they'll tell you stories. Jon Stewart will tell you stories where some super billionaire wanted me to play his son's bar mitzvah for $1 million. Wouldn't do it. It's I'd do it for $1 million.
Because the guy wanted him to say or not say certain things, or just because he's that's not enough money for me?
It's just I don't do that. Wow. There are people that are that way. Now, what I'm saying is nobody here got on an airplane for 21 hours for, 11 grand.
They probably sent a private plane and it had a few zeros at the end.
These guys got paid millions, some.
But does that make it okay then? I guess.
No, it makes it makes it understandable because, like I said, let's be honest. And I'm not siding with these people, but I'll give you a straight ahead example. You want to start a company where you make your own custom beach towels.
Okay. I like a nice Turkish towel or quick dry.
A nice quick dry, and you want your logo on it and your dog. What's your dog's name?
Oh, R.I.P. Mr. Guinness.
Mr. Guinness, gone in a better place. But we're going to put a big picture of Mr. Guinness on it, and people are going to love it. And then I go to you, and I go, I got it all laid out, you know, and here's the designs, and here's what. And then you go, I want these things made in America. And I go, okay, great. But if they're made in America, each unit is going to be $26.
Oh, yes. Yep.
Which means you're going to have to sell these beach towels for about $40 each to have any kind of problem. Now, there's a place.
If you want it to be Maha approved organic cotton with no preservatives.
But there's a place in China. There's a place in China that'll bang these things out for $3.75 a piece, and you could sell
Probably
them for 25
cents.
You're going to have a lot of profit. Right. And then all of a sudden, you're not so patriotic anymore. You go,
CCP ain't so bad now.
I'm just saying all of us would think about it.
Yep.
And that's what, and then many go, let's just go with the Chinese company.
I get,
and that's what these guys do.
So your favorite singer, J-Lo, also has performed over there. I think she's performed for the Qataris too, despite how horrifically they treat women. And if she was a woman over there, they wouldn't let her shake her ass.
Right.
But they'd throw her in jail or probably kill her for it under Sharia law. But she didn't go over there and, to my knowledge, change her act. I think the thing that frustrates people about Bill Burr and Chappelle is this shtick of, oh, you know, it's not like they're yelling death to America. And by the way, it's easier to do stand up here than it is in America. And it's the false narrative. It's almost as if they are Baghdad Bob. Right? Remember Baghdad Bob?
Sure, I know Baghdad.
And so it's like, it's not just like they took the check and did the show. They took the check, they did the show, and they're still hawking for the regime. I think that's what kind of gets under my skin.
I think the problem with the Bill Burrs and the Chappelles or anybody in general is, if you're going to pitch like Aziz Ansari, if you're going to pitch woke bullshit here about people and people being oppressed and violence against women and all the shit you throw up every day, spare us when you go over there and take a check. That's the whole thing. If
Aziz
Andrew Dice Clay did it, I'd be like, I mean, if I took the money, then I would take the money, but I'm not railing against oppressive regimes all the time.
I mean, Aziz was almost canceled by the Me Too movement because a chick that gave him a blowjob then decided a couple years later when a reporter called her that she didn't like that he then tried to hit her up for sex later in the night when she slept over. And my response to that was like, that's your average marriage. But like, once again, people, libertarians, free-minded thinkers, like people that were like, hey, let's not conflate like actual rape and abuse to a bad one-night stand, came to his defense. He came back around, also had a successful Netflix special. It's just like, don't rail on America when America has made you famous and
it's 10 times better than wherever you're going to get a check. That's my whole thing. But then there are guys like Mark Norman, who I'm looking at, I like, but he's not woke and doesn't rail against America. So I have more forgiveness or more understanding or more something. What I don't like is the rail against oppressive, Trump's an oppressive dictator. We'll go take a check from an oppressive dictator. That's what I like. I have the song, by the way. It's a rap song.
Nice.
I just saw it for 10 seconds and I thought, that's fun.
Yo, it's Billy Burka. Yo. We get Riyadh money, baby. It's brutal.
Alla shiki Luigi Manjo. Hey, it feel Luigi Manjo.
Yo,
we getting Riyadh money.
Yeah.
We getting Riyadh money. I am a cook, I got a shitty black wife.
Yeah.
I am a cook, I got a shitty black wife.
It's brutal.
We getting Riyadh money.
Yo.
show.
We getting real money.
Now that re-ad money got them selling their souls. If they wasn't telling jokes, they be selling they hoes. They do anything for dollars, even say a prayer to Allah. Balaclavas on their faces just to pack out a show. Whoa, Chris Stefano, I had to let you know this festival might rest your soul. They colder than the Eskimos. The episodes you drop must not be making no sense. Mr. Ross only going cause there's no age of consent. Guess the roast master general demoted to lieutenant. I'm the lord of this land, I'm evicting these lieutenants. Who didn't expect Tommy Buns to take the Saudi funds? Probably for a Rolex he don't give the kids a mommy none. Aziz needs this, I'm rooting for him in the end. Cause how could you get canceled for being a horny Indian? I can't believe what I'm seeing is Pete Davidson. Made a lot of money, but I guess he ain't been saving none. Never forget, well I guess he forgot. Now he performing for the animals that took out his pops. Does he even know? Does he?
Alright, you get it. I was like, this is
wow,
pretty well crafted.
I mean,
fucking rap here. That's
So-
by Crack Amico.
Okay, Crack Amico.
Crack Amico.
Maybe you could make one. So comedians like David Cross, Mark Maron, and Shane Gillis, to their credit, have publicly condemned the festival and saying that they wouldn't do it. And another female comedian, Atsuko, had said that she had previously declined the invitation because it included bans on political, religious, and LGBTQ plus content.
Yeah, so
Bill Burr said it was, quote, one of the top 3 experiences he's ever had.
Well,
Crack
The dude-
Amico, by the way. Crack Amico, I'm told.
Oh, sorry, Crack Amico. All right.
Has Bill Burr never been to the happiest place on earth? That is Disneyland.
I will say Bill got weird and woke at some point. I don't know what happened, but
I think it was after people like Dave Rubin, our friends Dave and Ben Shapiro, went to his comedy show and it was funny. And then he was like, no, cannot have conservatives like me, must go the other way. And then he went like hardcore the other way and started defending Luigi Mangione.
That to me, by the way, even if it's a joke, is sort of despicable stuff. That stuff drives me nuts.
It wasn't a joke. I mean, it was on his podcast. He was pretty freaking serious.
Oh,
It was
okay.
scary.
I just heard the comment on Kimmel. I didn't hear it on his podcast. There's something broken about that. But anyway, I will say that if you took most human beings and you offered them the amount of money that these guys got paid to do this, almost everyone you know
Would take it.
would do it. And you would have to, you hypothetically will go, I wouldn't do it, but when you saw the amount of money, you might do it. So I'm not really judging those who
You just don't
do.
want him to come back here and shit on America.
I'm saying to everyone, don't be preachy and
Yeah.
take the cash.
Got it.
If you want to be Mark Maron and be obnoxious and preachy and not take the cash, I respect that.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
I like that.
And if you want to be Mark Norman and not be preachy and just take the cash, fine. But don't be preachy and take the cash.
It would have been really funny though if so apparently Tim Dillon agreed to it and then he cracked a joke online about how he couldn't say anything as a gay man in Saudi Arabia and then they dropped him from the show, which I actually wondered was that his 4D chess of calling them out for it?
I don't know.
But I wish that he or somebody like Kill Tony had gone over there and just laid into them. Had it been a real roast, that they'd be like, and we'd like to recognize in honorary, in memoriam, Kamal Khashoggi. Everyone, let's have a moment of silence.
Yeah, I mean, also to be fair to them, they probably didn't have an act that had a lot of time dedicated to the royal family in general. So it's like if someone said to me, Adam, you can go to Sacramento and do a show Wednesday, but no talking about the royal family, I'd be like, done and done.
Fine.
I'll just be complaining about my own family.
But if somebody said, hey, Adam, you can come to Sacramento and do a show, but you can't talk shit about Gavin Newsom. Right? It's his backyard.
Oh, man, you got me.
See?
You're right.
You have more morals than you let on.
Yeah. No, I didn't do. The only time I'm trying to think. The only time I really turned my back on money is when Comedy Central wanted to do a 5th season of The Man Show without Jimmy, just me.
Really?
Yeah, and he was going to do late night, and they kept coming to me, offering more and more money each time. Just you do it alone. You could pick any partner you want. You could pick anyone you want to work with, or you just do it alone. But do another season. Yeah, and they kept taking me out to lunch, and they kept offering more money. and I just wouldn't do it.
Why?
I was like, I started the show with Jimmy. Jimmy and I started this show. I think I said that 2 different ways, but it was the same thing. We did 100 episodes, or like 100 plus. And we both kind of agreed that we did what we wanted to do, and it worked, and that'll be that.
Yeah.
And I was like, this is me and Jimmy's show. It's not my show. Mm-hmm. And I was also going to go with Jimmy to help him start the late night show. And I realized that I was kind of a huggy blanket or something for him. Like, we shared an office and stuff. Like, he'd probably like me to go with him to help him get things off the ground. He didn't need it, but it was probably would have been a nice gesture. And I also kind of I sort of thought, if I do this without him, it's going to feel a little Benedict Arnold-y or something to him.
Really?
It's probably not going to be. I don't think he would. I don't think he would have ever.
He had moved on. It's not like you're like, bye, Jimmy, and then you brought in somebody else.
Yeah, people talk to any woman. It's like, you wanted a divorce. Yeah, now I got a young girlfriend. Yeah. Why are you mad? I don't get it. Yeah, you moved on, but no, they can still be pissed.
I could see how having been on like a kind of morning show and then on air with multiple people, like you have to. An old boss of mine was once like, it's about respect, camaraderie, and rapport. And you guys had that, and you still have that because you're still friends. It's hard for you to just be like, oh yeah, bring in Ryan Seacrest. He and I can do the same thing.
Yeah.
Right? Like you can't, or even bring in some Joe Schmo that nobody was aware of that maybe you liked on the comedy circuit. You can't, like, it's not going to have that same spark or vibe when it's somebody completely new, not just to the audience, but to you.
Yeah, like I probably could have made it work because I knew the template and I was there since the inception, and I understood the show well and all that, and I've had partners, Jimmy was a partner, but Dr. Drew was a partner, Skip Bedell and Catch a Contract was partner. Like, I got how to work with people and have like a good kind of working relationship with them. And so I probably could have done something. Like, it would have been fine. When we left, then the producers had to produce the show who never produced the show. And that's why it got bad, because they never produced it. We produced it, we did everything, and so we left. And then the people that were taking credit for producing it actually had to produce it. And then it fell
apart.
Because we were doing it.
Yeah.
That's
well, also the talent left too. So it's like the talent and the lack of like good production.
Well, yeah, the talent left, but Joe Rogan and Doug Stanhope took over, and they're both very capable comedic talents. You know what I mean? So they weren't us, but it's not like they got a couple of hacks from the open mic at the Comedy Store to come in there. They just couldn't capture it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And there were just two guys who got put together.
I think you see that a lot, like with SNL, right? Like there's the golden era of SNL, and then like the format doesn't change, but all the comedians that roll through do. And is it the political aspect of what's happening in the country? Is it how there's so much entertainment everywhere that people don't just need to tune into one show on a Saturday night? Is it the comedians that are on staff now? Like, what kind of makes it work or not work? And it's hard to duplicate something.
Chemistry is not replicatable.
Yeah.
And that we had when we did Loveline as well. It was just two guys, late night radio. It wasn't really, the format wasn't the key. It was just sort of, we had a good chemistry, Drew and I. So anyway, be all that as it may, that's the only time I turn my back on a lot of money.
Well, speaking of a lot of money and dictatorships, have you seen this video that's trending on social media right now about this new bridge in China?
Yeah.
So it so the only thing I could think of is like, I've been to Lofoten, which is bucket list place to go. You feel like you're in freaking Lord of the Rings, and you have to drive around these fjords. And so you just like zigzag, and it takes you 1,000 years to zigzag. Apparently, it used to take people like 2 hours to maneuver through these mountains. And now there's this super bridge that has all of these bells and whistles, and it'll take somebody 2 minutes to get from point A to point B. So I don't know how Huajiang, Huajiang Grand Canyon Bridge soars about 2,000 feet above the river, and it is twice as high as the Royal Gorge Bridge, the highest in the United States, which is about 956 feet above the Arkansas River in Colorado. And it's the home to the second highest bridge as well, which is another one I cannot pronounce, y'all. Apparently an ex-user, and then over on TikTok, the people are saying that this bridge is incredible. And a lot of Americans are saying like, hey, maybe it's time that we take note. Someone posted that would take 50 years in the UK and then get canceled before being completed. Another person said on Staten Island, tiny 13-mile long, overcrowded with 500,000 residents, there's only one bridge connecting them to Brooklyn, which is one of New York City's 4 other boroughs.
Yeah. Okay. I was thinking about this. It's pretty monumental. It's got a little bit of an Art Deco vibe. It's got a little bit of a Golden Gate Bridge. And it looks like it's sort of loosely modeled on the Golden Gate Bridge. And so I was looking into the Golden Gate Bridge today. And the thing that I thought was incredible was the Golden Gate Bridge started in 32 and took 4.5 years to build. And then the Hoover Dam started in 31 and took 5 years to build. So we did the Golden Gate Bridge, and essentially the Golden Gate Bridge and Hoover Dam were started in the 30s and finished by the middle of the 30s. If you can picture that world. And then you also think about, like, while people are bragging about finishing this or coming in under budget, so ultimately you build shit so we can use it.
Yes.
I mean, think how much utility, we built the Hoover Dam in 1932 or 31. It was done in 5 years, and we've been using the shit out of it ever since with all the electricity.
Like, to my knowledge, we haven't had to replace it or patch any holes or anything.
No, and we use the shit out of the Golden Gate Bridge. So, what I want to say is, some of the stuff we should build and use. It should be used. We don't think that way. But the Golden Gate Bridge and the Hoover Dam were all done in under 5 years in the 30s.
Yeah.
And the technology, they dug everything with steam. They use steam as power.
I'm most impressed with the Brooklyn Bridge. I don't know the how long it took to build it. We'd have to Google that real quick, but just the fact that was a feat at the time, of using the cables and the stone. Like you said, how do we put these pilings in the river before it had ever been done before?
They would have to build little dams, and people would get the bends going down there when they'd come back up. I mean, it was also a couple Irishmen die along the way. It's all in the name of progress, after all. I mean, so there's a lot of that.
I'm sure a few Chinese men died building this. The CCP just won't tell us about it.
I'm sure.
In the 4 years?
Yeah, and a couple on our railroads.
But the Brooklyn Bridge and the Hoover Dam do not also feature a theme park or a glass skywalk. It has a high-speed glass elevator. It's like Willy Wonka. And a waterfall.
All I'm saying is wouldn't it be nice to build stuff? Wouldn't it be good? It wouldn't be a good thing to build stuff. We could build stuff. We can do it, but we won't allow ourselves to do it.
Now we're focused on building AI, and then the factories that have to hold all of the things to
I mean, it's a California thing for sure, but you couldn't build shit in California. I literally remember where I was sitting in high school in Miss Valdivia's class, looking out the window in 1982, when somebody was talking about, they're going to build a high-speed rail from Los Angeles to Las Vegas.
Yeah, I've been here for 13 years, and I've been hearing that too.
They're going to go high-speed from Los Angeles to Las Vegas. I drove from Las Vegas yesterday. There is no high-speed rail. There's just a road that gets shitty once you make it into California.
And that's the one that makes the most sense. Why do we need to go up to Fresno or Bakersfield? The train, put a train from the valley in LA and then downtown LA to Vegas. You can gamble and drink the moment you cross into Nevada. It makes the most sense.
But here's the whole thing. We get nothing. We can't do anything.
We can't have nice things.
We can't, because we're so mobbed up with the Coastal Commission. I just talked to Grant Cardone about this, but I mean, it's in what world are you going to get to build a train in California? It's not going to work. They can't do anything. They have been building from Bakersfield to Merced for, is it
8 years now?
No, it seems like 8 years. It's been like 17 years or something.
Oh, God.
We have nothing.
Yeah.
I mean, again, let's see. Let's have some fun. You ready?
Okay.
Golden Gate Bridge, 4.5 years.
Yep.
Hoover Dam, 5 years. Combine, 9.5 years.
In the 30s.
In the 30s,
Yep.
9.5 years
Yep.
for both those projects to be completed. Although they were building them simultaneously, so even better. But the whole point is we've been working on that train for more than 9.5 years, and we have nothing. What year did the train? It was pitched early, but like when did they really?
I thought it was
cut
like
the
8
ribbon?
years.
Well, let's see.
So we approved it in 2008. Dumb propositions that everybody votes yes on when they should be voting no.
Right.
Am I allowed to say that?
Yes.
Okay, so vote no on 52, guys. Come on. Federal stimulus funds. Oh, great. So we got state funds in 2008, federal funds in 2010. In 2013, construction contracts were awarded. In 2015 was the initial groundbreaking.
All right. I beat you by half a year, though.
Wow. 2015.
It's exactly what I said. I'd love to know what month. It might be exactly 9. It's the same. We have nothing. We will get nothing. And even if we did, what would be more impactful in your life? All the electricity generated from the Hoover Dam and or the use of the Golden Gate Bridge versus a line 109 miles long from Merced to Bakersfield that you would never...
Ranking?
No one you would know would ever get on that train.
Solar. So number 1, Golden Gate Bridge. Number 2, Hoover Dam. Number 30 in the train.
Right. Even if we did complete it, no one would utilize it.
I've gone across the Golden Gate Bridge like 4 times in my life. No, 3, because actually one time I took a ferry and then I drove over. Okay, 3 times if I'm being honest. That's 3 times more than I will ever take that train. I
would never take that train. Brooklyn Bridge took 14 years, by the way. 1869.
Right, though? Like when you hear that, 1869?
Yeah.
And the feat, like the engineering feat of that, it's fascinating.
Agreed.
I watched a documentary on it once on the History Channel with my grandfather.
Nice.
It was a long time ago, though, so.
That's some homeschooling right there, bro. That's what you do at home.
No, I was just...
Sit on Pappy's lap. Let me show you about a bridge.
That was my math and science for the day. Something.
All right, so we're idiots. We have nothing. China... Wait, how long did it take China to build
4.
it? 4 years.
4 years.
Right. Okay.
With
they
a
can
theme
do
park
stuff.
and a glass elevator like you're in Willy Wonka.
All right. We can't have things. We can't do things. Okay. But
they haven't told us how many workers died.
Well, here's my thing. I don't know why it's not bothersome to people that we can't build things or do things. It drives
because
me.
everybody only cares about this being built in China as well. And so they can sit on this all day long.
I'm only laughing because in the 16 years I've done this podcast, every single person that comes in, they go, you know what's ruining the kids? This.
And
then I go, it's a podcast. You have to say phone.
Sorry.
You've joined the pantheon of greats. I don't care. Nobody can do it.
Coming from a radio background, I should have known better. But
that's all right.
But my mom watches on YouTube.
We get a lot of YouTube traffic. People love your news on YouTube. So you're right. All right.
So
there is something weird, though, about the phone where everyone just describes, they'll hold it up and they go, this. They never go to the phone.
You know what it means. Have you seen that trend? It trended a few months ago on Instagram and TikTok, and it was like you take a parent and then you take their kid and then you have them do hand motions for different things. Mm-hmm. And the phone was one of them. Mm. And kids would hold out their palm as if it was an iPhone or a touch phone. Mm-hmm. And I don't know who owns droids, but okay. Mm-hmm. And then the millennial parents like myself would take like the thumb and the pinky and hold it up. Right?
What do they do for roll the window down?
That too. That was one of the ones that they did too. So some millennial parents would do like the actual rolling the window down with the handle, like in my grandpa's old Ford. Mm-hmm. And then, I don't even know if kids these days know how to roll down a window.
I don't think anyone gestures to roll down a window anymore because it's sort of unnecessary. There used to be a lot of directions, and there was a lot of car-to-car communication. Like there was a lot of like, you'd go to that thing and they go, "Your trunk's unlatched." You know, like that. Then we passed a lot of information.
Your gas
flap,
open.
the flap on the gas is open. Like there was a lot of car-to-car communication.
Yeah.
No, not anymore.
Not anymore.
No, we used to do a lot of communicating.
Everybody's like in their car with their CarPlay, listening to you on Spotify or
That's
wherever
right.
they get their podcasts.
The Mr. Microphone commercial, the guy's like, "Hey, good looking, I'll be back to pick you up in an hour." And in that commercial, they were driving a Mercedes 450 convertible
You know what car it is.
Could have been a 380. There's already like 5 people inside of a 2-seater, so I don't know how many more people we're going to get in there. But anyway, that was Mr. Microphone.
Oh, the good old days.
Mr. Microphone. You know, the best part about Mr. Microphone is it was like they you know who Mr. Microphone was great because Mr. Microphone whenever they sell something, they always push it a little too far. Like they go kids parties, and they go up there, "Hey, I'm on the radio," and you're like, "All right, I'll buy that."
For those of you listening and not watching on YouTube, Adam just attempted to dance.
I danced, and then they would go, and you know, the guy'd go down the street, "Hey, I'll be back to," and then they super racistly had a black guy just scatting. He had a boombox and a Mr. Microphone. He was just going down the neighborhood.
The only reason I know about this commercial is because of your liberal friend Brian Whitman.
Oh, he loves it.
He loved this ad.
But that's fine. Black guy scatting, guy in the Mercedes, fine. Kids party, great. But at the end, they go, "Even the professionals can use it." It's a woman playing flamenco guitar at an event. It's like, okay, but you don't have Mr. Mike. If you pulled up to play my wedding or my fundraiser or my gala with Mr. Microphone, I would not think of you as a serious performer. Dawson, you've been on stage. Has ever been with a band that had Mr. Microphone up there?
100% of the time.
Oh,
always,
all right.
always,
It's
Mr.
always
Microphone.
Mr. Microphone.
That just speaks to the quality of Dawson's
even at the lowest, nobody would ever do this.
All right, we'll play. Yeah, you'd have your own system, I would guess. All right.
Hey, this Christmas party is getting a little too quiet. I think it's time we liven it up with my favorite Christmas gift, Mr. Microphone. Hey, what's that? Well, you set the dial on your FM radio and testing. I'm on the radio.
These kids are having a fabulous time with Mr. Microphone, the cordless microphone that actually puts your voice on the radio. There are no attaching wires, so you're free to move around. Broadcast over any FM car radio.
Hey, good looking. We'll be back to pick you up later. You can broadcast in mono or with 2 or more radios in stereo.
Professional entertainers use Mr. Microphone for rehearsing.
Oh, for rehearsing? Well, wait a minute. She rehearsing?
She was performing. They said rehearsing.
And
Okay.
great fun for the whole family. And for only $12.88, they really make great Christmas gifts.
Yeah.
The perfect Christmas gift at Walgreens, Woolworth, Wilco, Osco, Venture, Weebles, Montgomery Ward.
Montgomery Wards. Yeah, Mr. Microphone. Black dude scatting.
And also, that's not how stereo works. You don't just put it on a whole bunch of radios.
Well, also, the guy's like, "Hey, I'm on the radio." It's like, you didn't get the morning show at K-Rock. You are on a radio that has now become a speaker for your shitty voice. You're not on the radio.
The cat call via the radio in the Mercedes.
Now, that's a 2-seater that already had 5 people.
Yeah, including some chicks already. So
Yeah,
he's
she
going
was
to drop
not-
those chicks off and then come back for the other
She was
chick?
not happy that Willie Ames wanted to hit on the chick that was just walking down the street. I gotta say, that's a young Willie Ames. That's what he looks like to me. Yeah, and then the black guy was singing Jingle Bell.
They're all singing Christmas music. You know why?
Because
even in
black people love the.
No, because in 1978 they still didn't have to pay for the licensing.
We'll be back to pick you up later.
Oh yeah,
You
she
can
shoved
broadcast
him.
in mono or with 2 or more radios in stereo.
Professional entertainers.
It's kind of dangerous. He was splashing around the plugged-in radio.
I love it. By the way, I love that. I love that they have 9-year-olds watching flamenco. Like, hey, 9-year-olds, you want to go to a bouncy castle, or do you want to hear flamenco guitar?
She's doing a pretty classy rehearsal there, all dressed up really nice with the audience.
Yeah.
Oh man, those haircuts.
The black guy was singing Christmas songs.
No, they're all singing. The family was
I
singing
know.
la 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 la.
Well, that could have been Christmas. Black guys rarely sing about Christmas. Let's see. Oh, yeah.
I'm sorry.
There are no attaching wires, so you're free to move around. Broadcast over any FM car radio.
Now, let's go full circle, right? This guy in the 60s could have been part of the Black Panther movement, could have been part of the resistance, was never going to sell out to Whitey. But then at some point in 1977, someone went, I'll give you $10,000 to do a Mr. Microphone commercial. I went, give me that. See how it works?
Not the same as Saudi Arabia, though.
Nah, maybe not. But this guy sold out.
Oh, Lord.
Mr. Microphone, scatting away. I don't know if we had a FM. I don't know if I had a radio. This stuff,
You didn't have a radio as like a kid?
well, I got a clock radio for Christmas once.
What did you have it set to wake you up for school days?
We had KMET out here, and we had a station before KMET. Something, it wasn't 100, it wasn't K-Earth. It was, it was something, there was like a pop station, and then it went sort of KMET, and then it was KLS, and then it was K-Rock, like you kind of graduated up through. But Mr. Microphone wouldn't have been tolerated at the Carolla house, because remember, Dawson, the simple rules. If it brings pleasure or takes batteries, it is not allowed in the Carolla house.
Oh, and my husband has the rule about the latter.
This took batteries and brought pleasure. Uh-oh. Oh, I see where you're going here. Yeah.
Oh, Lord
all right.
Mercy.
We got another story. Do we get to it?
We do. So there is a mayoral race happening up in Seattle. And,
this guy.
And over the weekend, there was a debate. And at the debate, one of the moderators there for Fox 13 in Seattle said, quote, FBI statistics have shown that in 2024, Seattle had the 4th highest overall crime rate compared to other large cities. The crime numbers this year overall seem to be on a better path than last year. But she asked the Democratic mayor, who's currently seated and wants to win again, it's no secret that repeat offenders are driving much of the crime as the city too lacks on repeat offenders. And here is his ingenious response.
The criminal system has had a disparate impact on black and brown communities. Let me lead with that. So when this person is committing 6 or 7 crimes, I don't know his or her story. Maybe they were abused as a child. Maybe they're hungry. So my remedy is to find their life story to see how we could help first. I have no desire to put them in jail, but I need to protect you, and that's the calibration that we have.
So what's he going to do to protect me? What is this, like Les Mis?
He's going to sit down. He's going to sit down and figure if they're hungry, and then he's going to get their life story and their bio and see if they were deprived of Mr. Microphone as a youth like I am and still angry.
Listen, this is my problem with politics in America, is you have somebody like that I think he's a fake empath, but that's another conversation for another day. They are empathetic, and I think that they do care about like people's story and where they came from and their lived experience, all the words that they use. And then people on the right are just like, how do we fix this immediate problem? And I think that actually both left and right should come together and be like, their story does matter, but we can't fix that after they've murdered somebody on the streets of Seattle. So let's work on getting that guy behind bars and going into the community from which he was raised and trying to fix that community at the ground level too. Like, can we do both?
I would be much more apt to listen to any of these sort of race hustling bullshit artists if they said, this impacts the black and brown community, the African American communities impacted disproportionately when it comes to incarceration because their dads are absent at such a high level that there's more criminality in that community. We should look at ways to see if we can repair that to prevent them forever getting to the pipeline that takes them from the school to the prison. If they ever said that, then I would go, cool. I now agree with that person. Why? They go, this 13-year-old running the streets of Chicago at 4 a.m. and firing guns at a cop. Now he's killed. He's dead. It's like, okay, what 13-year-old is running around with a gun at 3 a.m. in the streets of Chicago? And the answer is one whose dad isn't at home. If you cowards ever wanted to address that, I would get on your side, but you won't ever address that because you feel like that's your constituency and you'll lose their votes. So you just talk about how the system impacts them. Well, yeah, if you commit the lion's share of the violent crime, then you will be the lion's share of the prisoners. That's how that works. By the way, it's a two-way street. There's not a lot of Jews incarcerated because they have a disproportionately low amount of violent crime that they engage in. So whoever engages in the most crime shall be the most represented in prisons.
Unless you're in Seattle and he just wants to sit down and hear your story.
That's right, because you may be hungry. We don't know if this person's hungry.
Well, it turns out you get 3 square meals a day in prison.
But the other thing these guys are, and they never really cop to it, but they are racist. And the reason they're racist is when you hear them say things like, you hear the mayor or the governor of Chicago or Illinois say, when you put these National Guard troops on the ground, it can scare and agitate some of these people and they'll act out. Or this guy's hungry and he's acting out, or this guy is upset and he's acting out, or he feels scared or fearful, so he lashes out. It's like, that's how zookeepers talk about animals. That's not how you talk about human beings.
Yeah.
You go...
Or a toddler.
You go, who put the... So you go, an alligator ate another peacock. And then you go, the zoo people goes... They don't go, what's wrong with the alligator? They go, who put the alligators in with the peacocks? Like, that's really what they're doing. If you get Pritzker talking about if seeing someone in a uniform agitates you, upsets you to the point where you have to then throw a punch or a bottle at that person, and you now are talking about animals at this point. And any woman whose dog, what the number one answer for dog biting somebody's? He was scared. He thought he didn't know. He thought you were here to attack me. Like, you walk into a woman's house, to drop something off. He's got a little yappy dog and the dog nips at you. And then a woman always goes, oh, he thought you meant me harm, or he was scared. It's always he's scared. They talk about their cities like you talk about a pet. They're agitated and they're scared, and you coming in makes them upset, and it agitates them, and then they lash out because they can't help
and they're
it.
lashing out as in their fault. It's your fault for being there in the first
put the
place.
alligators in with the peacocks, and the little Shih Tzu was scared. That's how they talk about it. This guy's a fucking racist.
You could also say, like, as a woman, we get the, well, what was she wearing argument?
Right. That's what this is. He was hungry.
And I thought that the left wasn't for that argument, and yet they use it all the time.
But also, this guy's a world-class dope. And by the way, people get killed because of your dopey-ass policy. And it's on you at a certain point. All your goodwill.
He said he didn't quite understand the question and that he didn't believe the FBI stats. FBI stats that came out, I think, prior to it was prior to Trump, like, even being in office.
He didn't understand the question post when he got into trouble, or
he called the question interesting, and noted that he was not exactly sure how to answer, and he didn't understand the use of the word lax, and then he gave that shitty response.
Well, like laxative in that case, but look,
how does he get paid? Like, should I go up and run for mayor of Seattle? It's a pretty place.
Is he like affirmative action DI hire? Like, is he like half Eskimo or something? And they're like, oh, we got to get one of these.
Seattle's such a pretty city. Like, it deserves better.
He's a dope, number one. Also, it's simple. You don't know anyone who's a violent criminal. It's a very small percentage of people doing repeat. It's a super small
when you're turns out when you don't imprison them, they come back and do it again.
And so it's this little group of people causing all the problems. So just get the little group incarcerated and check into the life and the dads and the home.
But
they never do that. They just stop. They go, this impacts the African American. Would you like to know why? Or is it just everything's just a racist cop? Even though I don't even know. It's rare that I see a white cop in L.A. Tons of women and tons of everything else. Bruce Harrell, the retard, is running Seattle. And that's why all these places are turning to shit. Sad, because, I used to go there and enjoy it. Is he something? What is his, I wonder what he is. He looks something, but I don't know what that is.
You're not allowed to say
Dad
that.
is black, mom is Japanese.
Oh, really? Oh, good. We'll vote for him. He must have the answers. Dad is black and mom is Japanese. Good. We haven't had one of them. That'll be the first Blackanese we've ever voted in. And then we can all pat ourselves on the back and he can be retard who does a shitty job. But I bet you don't look, I know Seattle. They're not just going to get a white guy and put him in there. They got to get a Blackanese in there and put him in. All right. You got one more?
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm. Your favorite gal.
Mm-hmm.
Over on MSNBC. Well, I guess the ex-host over on MSNBC. Joy Reid went on a profanity-laced tirade against Vice President J.D. Vance, calling him a racist a-hole. Here we go.
I will start by saying, J.D. Vance, since you're paying attention to me, fuck you. And I say that on behalf of every black woman who heard you call Kamala Devi Harris the trash. You calling a woman whose mother came to this country to do cancer research and to try to cure cancer, who lost her mother, not that many years ago, whose mother is the same exact racial identity as your wife. The fact that you would stand in front of a crowd of mainly white MAGAs and call that woman, who is the vice president of the United States, the highest elected female political official in our nation's history, call her the trash for this
hold on,
election.
Pause it. Was she elected? I mean, didn't they say we need a black chick to be vice president?
Well, technically she was elected because on the ballot it says Biden-Harris.
Okay.
That's like Bush Cheney. Cheney was elected vice president of the United States.
Yeah, but it's weird. I always just think of him as, I think of Bush as being elected and then you tap your, like.
The guy or the gal, yeah.
Well, I mean, Trump was elected and Mike Pence came along for the ride, I guess. I know. Okay, elected. All right.
Like, fuck you forever. There's nothing you could ever say that I would take as advice, friendly or otherwise. I don't need advice from you. You need to learn how to be a decent human being, and you need to apologize to Kamala Harris for what you said. So let's start with that. The second thing is J.D. Vance. I did not say that my mother said this country was not a land of opportunity for people like us. You need to go back and listen to the interview. What I probably said, I would have to pull up the interview. But what I will say again is that my mother came to this country as an immigrant and believed in the sales pitch of what America says that it is, that it calls itself this sort of land of opportunity, right? But what happens is if you are black, you immediately come here and it isn't long before you are treated the same way that America treats all of its black citizens, as second-class citizens, as people who need to, quote unquote, be grateful for white people apparently giving them opportunity. See, in your statement, you forget the part that you believe for yourself, that white people earn their opportunities, that they create opportunity, that when they get a good job or get a big house or get a good salary, it's because they earned it. You, because you are a racist asshole, believe that black people are given opportunity by white people. So you can't accept that my mother, who became a PhD holding college professor, earned her opportunity to be a professor. You think that someone white gave her that opportunity, or that she stole it from, or, Charlie Kirk's version is she stole it from somebody white.
Physically took the diploma and ran?
So that rant, by the way, over on Substack was in response to J.D. Vance talking about her on X. He said, quote, Joy Reid has had such a good life in this country. It's been overwhelmingly kind and gracious to her. She is far wealthier than most, yet she oozes contempt. My honest, non-trolling advice to Joy Reid is that you'd be a much happier person if you just showed a little gratitude. It is kind of ironic that her hat says petty.
Yeah, well, a little gratitude is the key to happiness.
Act happy, be happy, says our buddy Dennis Prager.
There is a clip that Andrew can find. It's in Love and Death. And You've not seen this movie.
No.
It's a Woody Allen movie.
Okay.
It's his funniest movie, but it's forgotten. People don't see it. They've seen many other Woody Allen movies, but Love and Death is his funniest movie. And somewhere, Diane Cannon is married to a herring merchant. And there's a sort of middle of the movie where they're at her home, and all this guy does is talk about herring. That's all he does. And he bores everyone to death with his herring talk. And then I realized she does that, but with race. Every time she opens her mouth, it's something about white people and black people, and you don't think, and you drove from, and we invented, and then you took. Like, it's got to be a bizarre way to go through life, to just everything's through the filter of race. Every time a microphone heats up, it's something with race in 2025 when no one gives a shit, and you're fine and you're rich. Like, everything has to be seen through the filter of race.
Also,
and it's
just
like
to say that J.D. Vance was saying that black people get handed things by white people. Like, I didn't read that anywhere in his quote.
I don't know who said that.
Like, it's like she made up the thing that he said.
I will replace. Just think about her speaking and just sort of replace race with herring, and that'll be Joy Reid's. Raise on debt. Here we go.
Naturally, the war affects the herring industry. The ports are blockaded, and fresh shipments of the herring become more difficult to obtain. And of course, when something hurts herring, it hurts me. You see, what people don't understand is that there are hundreds of types of herring, each with its own interesting history. Sonia, are you okay?
Oh, yes.
But I've talked long enough. Why don't you two play, as I have got some important business to attend to?
Okay, but that's an idea. All right, that's his lover. All that guy does is talk about herring.
She looks so pretty and young there.
Well, that's what the 60s were for. But
that was her lover with those teeth?
That is Joy Reid with race.
Yes.
Whatever he does, that guy's character just talked herring and bore the shit out of everybody.
It's almost like kind of like we don't want the comedians to go to Saudi Arabia and then come back and shit on the United States because it's like, no, you've made your bed, lie in it. Like, you can't say we're horrible after going and taking money from the royal family over there. It's almost like, do we keep talking about Joy Reid talking about race? Like, is J.D. Vance feeding into... I have this theory about AOC, too. Like, would AOC be such a thing if people in conservative media didn't talk about her all the time? Like, maybe J.D. Vance should just start ignoring Joy Reid so then we don't have to talk about Joy Reid talking about race all the time.
Right, because there's nothing else to her.
Exactly. That's her shtick, and it's only her shtick because she can rant and curse out the Vice President of the United States, which also just goes to show that Dave Chappelle... pretty dang easy to speak freely here in the United States compared to Saudi Arabia.
Because I know. I always love the tyrannical dictator thing because you start talking shit into a microphone, even Mrs. Microphone, about a tyrannical dictator, and you get rounded up pretty fast. If there's actual tyrannical dictators.
Or if you tweet something in the UK.
That's right. All right. I am going to be at Rodney's in New York doing stand-up and a live pod there, and Kat Timp's going to join me.
That's
and
fun.
Also Dr. Drew will, for the pod, and Drew, for the first time ever, is going to try stand-up.
What?
4 minutes of stand-up.
I might need to fly out for that one.
Yeah. Then Soul Joel's in Pottstown, Pennsylvania, and that'll be October 10th and 11th. Just go to adamcarolla.com for all the live shows. Yeah, get it on. Got to get on. Doctors born for fasting. Got stuff. Dr. Jackson.
He's at 6'7".
He's 6'7".
Oh my. So a couple interesting things. One of the things I find interesting is that I recall heading into COVID and during COVID, a lot of the response to this podcast was like, oh, two old men complaining, out of touch. I go, this kind of shit. For years, actually, And now it seems like people are interested in our thoughts. And they're the same fucking thoughts we've had all along. They're just sort of more evolved. We've continued to evolve them like we always do. But they're not philosophically or constitutionally different than they were 6 years ago, which is sort of freedom, family, education, those basic principles, constitutional, not literalism, but sort of defending the constitutional principles. And those are back in vogue, I guess. What do you think?
Yeah.
Or is it just that you've proven to be right? And now people go, oh, hey, he was right.
No, I have a few thoughts. I think things have a way of sort of getting back toward a like homeostasis, sort of what works, and kind of nature sort of rights itself a little bit, and it's a little bit of like, well, you get a splinter and it'll hurt, it'll be red and sensitive and stuff, but at some point your body sort of pushes it out, and the kind of a general, the truth wins and gravity's gravity and grandpa knew best, and it just takes a while, and then it's a battle, and the people you battle with are super loud and motivated and seem inspired by their, they have a kind of a intellectual high ground meets with motivation, meets with some sort of spiritual advantage, meets with a sort of morality thing that they're going to dangle over your head, which all sort of comes.
I care.
It all comes together to create some sort of cocktail of something that you have to endure, and then at some point they're wrong about everything, or mostly inspired by money. It kind of turns out weirdly that all the motivation had to do with money
and chicks
and getting laid.
I'm thinking of the hippies,
right? And no, I just mean the whole movement had to do with money, but they were kind of the foot soldiers, but they didn't really know it was just money,
right.
And so, it's like...
Was your mom under the the sway of that kind of thing and just didn't know it?
Well, it's an interesting thing. So they would say Trump and his ballroom and his rich buddies and their private jets in Dubai and tax breaks. But they don't look at climate change as a multi-billion-dollar grift. They don't look at climate change as a trillion-dollar grift, right?
Yes.
So Al Gore, he's in the trenches fighting it out because he loves children and rivers and indigenous people.
And private jets.
And meanwhile, he's getting rich, right? And Bernie Sanders or whoever. They don't... Solyndra, whatever this, the government's going to give this company $200 billion to build solar panels that'll never happen. Or there's another award for $80 million for electric school buses that'll never work. They'll deliver 7 of them over the course of 4 years.
Well,
they don't look at that as a grift, right? So my mom would go, look at that guy with his gold. He's put gold everywhere. He's got gold. Look at him in his expensive 3-piece suits traveling in his limousine. Al Gore, he's wearing a flannel shirt.
Right.
Okay, he's got his sleeves rolled up.
Right.
See, there's footage of him. He's walking.
Right.
He's in a forest and he's walking. Look at Gavin Newsom. He's walking amongst the sequoias and he looks concerned.
Yeah.
And now he's happened upon a Mexican lady and he's going to talk to her. Look at his face. He cares.
Yeah.
You understand? These guys are fat cats, the big airplanes with their insignias on it. Give me a break.
Yeah.
Because they're like kids. They're so easily
manipulated.
Right. And then the Black Lives Matter or the climate changers or the homeless industrial, they're going, look, everyone, here's the outfit. Cargo shorts and flip-flops. We're not going to walk around with tie clips and monogram cufflinks. They'll be on to us.
Yeah.
We're going, no.
Hoodies.
We're going hoodies. Let your hair go gray and put those flip flops on, and then they'll think, and then we'll get a bunch of women of color and we'll shove them up to the front, and people won't ask them questions because that would be racist. And also, they're women of color. They're not going to lie. They're here. They're beaten down. They're here trying to protect the downtrodden.
You think it's a bad thing to put women of color up front?
Right.
That's a bad.
So
what's wrong with you?
That's the way we're going to roll. So that's basic. And then eventually people figure out that's bullshit, and then they come back to whatever it is I was saying.
You just
we'll
made
get
me
back to diet and exercise.
You just made me realize there's something embedded in there that I think you're going to like, which is that fundamentally what they hate is the free market and competition.
Yeah, I hate competition.
So what they like is the government going, we're going to take care of this.
Yes,
but they don't realize there's a grift embedded in that. They what they hate is the market. They hate the competition.
Right.
And so the market can do a much better job. But we like when the government gets
They think the grift is in the market, not in the government.
Right.
And the market's
unfair because you have to compete, and we aren't born with all the same endowments. That's not fair.
The thing about the market is the market has a bunch of guardrails built into it because of the competition part of the market.
Yes.
The government gets grants, it gives out grants, it gets billions of dollars and hands it to this and hands it to that. Doesn't follow. We don't know where.
Yeah.
So there's a lot more opportunity for grift, meaning...
No, it's built into the system.
Well, it's built in the system, but here's what I'm saying. If the free market and private companies are in charge of giving out the COVID money, there's going to be a lot of follow-up and a lot of due diligence and a lot of whatever. When the government's in charge, it's just, well, we gave it to prisoners and we gave it to this group and that group we never saw. Nothing ever came out the other end. It's built in.
Yeah, it's a systems problem. Yeah.
It'll be that way.
Yeah.
Right.
And unless you realize that's why early in COVID...
my mom weirdly wanted the government to do everything.
Right.
And I'm like, I want the free market. And she's like, well, the free market's evil and the government is Bernie Sanders.
Yes.
He cares. You know what I mean?
Yes. And I just kept saying during COVID, my first insight, I was reviewing this in my head last night. My first insight in COVID was, oh my God, we've centralized medicine. It's all centralized.
Right.
Some assholes making decisions for patients 3,000 miles away. They have there's no way that's going to work.
Right.
And I remember I gave a talk in Bermuda. We got postponed 2 years because of COVID.
Right.
And I made this case, and the room was like, like, what are you gasping about? What are you clutching your pearls for? It's a terrible idea. What if we centralized plastic surgeries?
Right.
I mean, imagine that. You think those surgeons would sit still for that for 2 seconds? It's unbelievable.
So now the latest one. And listen, here's the only way this is going to work.
Hot and put the air on.
Okay.
You turned it off?
No, I just turned it down. It was cold when I walked in.
You all right?
It's on 70. It's on 71.
I'm like heated. Something's
because
bugging
you're
me.
animated, but don't ram the seat into the TV set just because you're warm.
Apologies.
All right, listen.
Yeah.
I was reading that Snap's going to run out, and 40 million people are going to go.
40 million.
40 million. Okay, listen to me, everybody. This whole thing of like 40 million people are going to go hungry. First off, those 40 million people average an extra 40 pounds on them over the average working American. If you took the average person that's on SNAP getting free food and the average person that gets no free food from the government, the average female who gets no free food from the government is 146 pounds. The average SNAP recipient is 211 pounds. So
This is
it a
RFK's
food?
point. This is RFK's
I know. First off, we talk about going hungry. Nobody could benefit from a nice fast more than the SNAP recipients.
It's meal food. What do they call it? Food insecurity. It's food insecurity.
It's insecurity.
Yeah, it's food insecurity.
All right, is there one person that's not going to eat?
No.
Is there anyone's going to go hungry?
Same thing with healthcare, man.
Right.
I keep saying it. There's like nobody's going to get refused healthcare ever. in this country.
Right.
I don't care who you are, you're going to get it.
So the greatest is Newsom sent out a tweet, and he was talking about access to food. I love the access part. I'm enamored with
They don't have
the
bank
access.
accounts. They don't have access to banks.
They don't have access. They have access. Everyone has access to food. I have access to food every single day. And so does everyone who works here, except for the government doesn't give it to me. I have to go get it. But I also have access to a car.
Right.
But the government doesn't give it to me, and a home, and building stuff from Home Depot.
Right.
I have access to it, but the government does not give me decking material. So Newsom says,
how was the response to that?
Donald Trump is literally dancing in Asia while 40 million people lose access to food.
Yeah.
And I wrote back, they should explore the possibility of getting their own food.
How was the response? I see 8,000. It's a little.
5 years ago, people would have been screaming at me that I wanted kids
oh my
to,
God, you would have been canceled and canceled.
whatever. Now they're sort of waking up that this is fucking nonsense and these people are fat. And by the way, why is 20% of this country getting free food?
That's the part that I was
and what's
astonished.
attractive about it, and why do you want more of it? And I was thinking about, like,
how are those people doing? I'm sure they're
not good.
Yeah,
not good. Mandami, I was thinking about today, like, he's weeping for his aunt, her job, and I said, what? I wrote this morning. I was like, when did having a pussy lead us? Like, when did having pussies lead us? When did that become attractive?
Well,
you know what I mean? Like, why are we attracted?
Katy Perry thinks it's attractive.
Right. This guy is a soft. Well, he's lying, but he's lying. Okay, what's he doing? He's crying.
Newsom, we're talking about. Oh, Mandami, beg your pardon. I was having trouble following you. Pardon me.
It's too hot in here.
Yeah.
Mandami is crying about his aunt who
Yeah.
can't use the subway.
Yeah.
Okay. He is not. Now, that woman doesn't exist, so he's lying.
Yeah.
But he's crying. He's fake crying because he feels that'll be attractive.
Yeah.
Why is that attractive? Why is having a soft leader? I just told everyone we got fucked by COVID because we had soft. Why is it attractive? Whether you're a football team or scoutmaster or general, why do we want a pussy leading us? Why? And I'm not. It's not rhetorical. Meaning he's done the math.
Yeah.
He's realized that being a pussy gets you more votes than being tough and competent and confident.
Yeah.
So being a pussy gets more votes than being a competent leader.
Yes.
So what happened? When did it happen? And why?
Well, I think we're going to spend this episode and the next episode talking about this. And it's some people have fashioned it under the heading of gynofascism.
Mm-hmm.
That the great feminization, however you want to frame it, this thing that Adam's been talking about for 20 years. I feel like, by the way, I have this weird...
And it's 28 years, by the way, but go ahead.
I have this weird feeling. You tell me why I'm feeling this. And I'm not saying it's accurate.
Mm-hmm.
It's just a feeling that your campaign on ChickThink started with you telling us that Bruce Jenner is becoming a chick. That episode keeps ringing in my head. Every time I kind of look back, I go, well, did it start? Because that insight in itself was so startling that we all went, what the fuck are you talking about? You said, I don't know what I'm talking about, but I'm just telling you it's happening. And I feel like you kind of went forward from that into a more developed theory about things that were happening. Am I right or wrong, or is it just when you start talking about it?
I don't know.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Yes, I know. But so here's the thing about my thoughts. It's if somebody said, when did you start being poisoned by radon gas? I would go, well, I had a headache a couple of years ago, but it went away.
Right.
And then I found myself coughing a little bit a couple of years ago, but then it stopped for a while. And then I did feel myself I was kind of tired, but then I got a new girlfriend and I wasn't tired. I don't know. It could have been a while. It's been a while. Maybe 2 years, maybe 5 years.
Yeah.
So my feelings are like feelings that just start sort of drifting in.
Yes.
And they don't enter like Kool-Aid.
Yes.
You know what I mean? They just sort of start drifting
Like clouds,
in.
they form.
Yeah,
like
and then I start talking, and when I start talking, I sound like a shaman in that I'm just giving you sketchy outlines of shadows, you know, and then people go, "What are you talking about?" And I go, "I don't know exactly, but I'm telling you, chick think."
But the wolf speaketh from the north.
It's not helping. The chick think, and then I called it chick think, and then you said that's not a good name for it.
I did.
And then I kept saying that's what I'm calling it because that's what it feels like. That's how it presents. It presents as chick think.
Am I right on the timing, though, sort of?
No, I mean, Bruce Jenner, I knew was turning into a chick in 97 or 98 or whatever that was. Yeah, I was like, something's going on with this dude.
It might have been 96 even. You were just
I think it was like 97, 98. Okay. But either way, it's coming up on 30 years. I knew he was turning into a chick. But that's only that's only because I observe things that other people don't observe.
Right. And you said, I don't know what that even means. And we all were like attacking you at the time. Like, what do you mean? What does it mean? It means nothing. What are you talking about?
It started to strike me that when politicians started to speak in a way about, you know, wanting to call homelessness unhoused neighbors. And it all started kind of in Los Angeles because Eric Garcetti was mayor. And he gave this speech about prisoners being paroled. He's like, and when they do, we owe them our gratitude. Like, I'm like, we owe felons our gratitude. And I was like, what the fuck are you talking about?
I have a physical reaction when you I put him into the bank of my memory way in the past.
Eric Garcetti,
I get a reaction when I
was
think about that guy.
Really soft and willowy, and like I said, I started taking account of the guys with their deep leg crosses. Obama with his deep leg cross, and Newsom and Trudeau, and I'll Eric Garcetti. Eric Garcetti. I'm sure mayor of Los Angeles crossed his legs that way. They all crossed their legs that way, and they started talking in a kind of willowy way, wispy, and so traditionally politicians would be, that's not what your country can do for you, but what you can do with the country. You know, like the only thing fear is fear itself.
Yes.
We'll take them by land and by sea. And then all of a sudden it's like, when our unhoused neighbors are paroled, we owe them a debt of gratitude.
Yes.
And it's like, what the fuck happened to you?
Well, it sounds like your grandmother.
Right. And then I was like, when did this become attractive? Because the thing about the politicians is, you know, they lick their finger and they put it in the ear, in the air, and they figure out which way the wind's blowing. They don't start talking that way. They figure there's enough chicks that want to hear that, and then they start talking that way. So somebody wants it.
I even would argue, sort of in the Mark Chankisi school of thought, which is things kind of come up from the bottom.
I don't know who Mark.
He's a cognitive psychologist, worth following on X. Good guy. He's a physicist. He became a cognitive psychologist, and he keeps saying things really start from the bottom up. And so I remember seeing it going, oh, these guys are behaving like that because they want to get laid. And that's what the girls are seeing.
Getting laid and getting elected are essentially the same thing.
That's a big insight.
All right, we'll listen to Zoran. He's becoming emotional because it's hot. Who's not saying? Anyway, couldn't ride the subway for four weeks.
I want to use this moment to speak to the Muslims of New York City.
Now he's emotional. A lot of head nodding.
I want to speak to the memory of my aunt.
Who never existed?
Yeah, but he's very emotional about it.
Who stopped taking the subway after September 11th because she did not feel safe in her hijab.
What a society we've built.
I want to use this moment to speak to the Muslims of New York.
First off, I don't know why his whole thing is I got to speak to the Muslims. And also it's this thing of like, as a Muslim, you hide in the shadows. Like for a guy who's scared, you certainly never fucking stop talking about it ever. Do you? You know what I mean? Like, is there any hiding in the shadows? As a gay man, as a gay Muslim, it's like, okay, Jesus Christ, are you scared? Yeah, he's a fucking retard. But anyway, the point is that pussy's attractive.
Yeah.
And that's scary. All right, we'll take a quick break. Find Eric Garcetti giving a speech about welcoming back convicts and owing them our gratitude. Gratitude. All right. That thing's 10 years old. We'll be right back after this.
Well, according to the National Institutes of Health, 30 million men in the U.S. deal with erectile dysfunction, more common than sleep disturbances. And yeah, it can screw with things. It can screw with your emotional well-being. Good news is Hims makes getting treatment very simple. No clinic visits, no waiting rooms, no pharmacy, 100% online. Get personalized prescription options, and Hims has trusted generics that cost up to 95% less than the big brand names. Not cookie cutter. They actually put your health and goals first. As real medical providers, real results, and real analysis. Think of Hims as your digital front door, getting you back to your old self. Look, this biology is common, and the solutions are available. There's no reason you shouldn't take advantage of it. All the expert care, none of the hassle, right, Daphne?
To get simple online access to personalized, affordable care for ED, hair loss, weight loss, and more, visit hims.com/ADS. That's hims.com/ADS for your free online visit. hims.com/ADS. Actual price will depend on product and subscription plan. Featured products include compound drug products, which the FDA does not approve or verify for safety, effectiveness, or quality. Prescription required. See website for details, restrictions, and important safety information.
So, hey, Garcetti,
soft pussies, attractive.
He used to do a
trouble.
press conference every night at 5 o'clock during COVID. And if you remember the content, every night it was like, hide under your bed. You kill your grandparents.
Yeah.
I thought, you're killing young people. You shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
Stop it.
And you wanted to know those COVID years, why I called everyone a pussy and a coward and never stopped.
Did I say
yes,
that?
You did. Yes,
I
you
think,
you did not like the pejorative part of me telling everyone, get under your bed, pussy.
Okay. So, but I didn't try to stop you or anything, did I?
Well,
I want to assess my own role in this.
No.
Apologies where I can.
No.
By the way, look for reason to apologize, everybody. I want to apologize to the extent that I didn't support it, but I don't think I got in the way of it.
Well, how are you going to get in the way of it? But the point is this. You were suggesting that I use other terms.
I feel like I got in the way of chick think. I was like, no, better brain. Blah, 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 blah.
No, you did. You did. But what I'm saying is I intentionally called people cowards and pussies.
Yes.
Constantly called them cowards and pussies.
I couldn't see how that would benefit everybody or you.
I get it.
And now I see it.
Well, I don't know how. I don't know that it benefited everybody.
No, it does, because it makes the point. The point is clear and it's correct. It's just a clear, correct point, which you were a fucking coward if you did that, or worse, which is you act like a brown shirt. You're not just a coward, but you became an SS member. Okay.
Right. Yes.
All right. We see you now. I see you.
Yes.
I get who everybody is.
Yes. And so I would lay out all the time, Gavin Newsom doesn't care about COVID. He's not scared of COVID. He doesn't act like he's scared about COVID. He doesn't wear a mask. He goes to the football game. He goes to the French Laundry. He doesn't care, and he's not scared of it. And what I would say is he doesn't believe it. Garcetti, I didn't know. I just said he was a pussy. And he is. And by the way, these guys they go from mayor of Los Angeles to zero in 10 minutes. All these guys, you never hear from them ever again. They're not substantial people. His dad was a DA, Gil Garcetti, and somehow he got into this, and he's a puss. But here's my point. Whether it's Mamdani or Garcetti, why is being a pussy attractive? And the answer is it's somehow linked to chick think, and they like it, and then it's also linked to a certain amount of men who think like chicks, who may just be trying to get laid.
Yes,
I don't know, but it may also have to do with plastics in the brain and low T and whatever else. But there's tons of pussy dudes and tons of chicks, and they're like-minded, and they vote for these people, and then shit falls apart, and then things need to be restored and corrected. And so we're kind of in the restore and correct as shit is falling apart phase of our society. Now, my argument is I don't get why it has to fall apart all the time. Why can't we just move forward and keep going? But it can't, because we have too much chick think and too much pussy dude think who thinks like chicks. Or again, look, I'll be kind to them. They're just trying to get laid, so they act like pussies. I don't know how many of those guys were actually believed in what they said during COVID, or they just wanted to get laid.
Well, back to the president.
And also, there's too many people who act like You know what, Drew? I'll tell you the problem. That's the problem with social media. All of Hollywood is a popularity contest.
Correct.
So that's all Hollywood is, right?
Yeah.
And so Hollywood guys, because it's nothing but a popularity contest, are going to all say the same thing about COVID. Let's say, or Black Lives Matter, or Biden, or whatever, DEI, you name the thing, climate change. All right, they're all going to be on the same side of climate change, the same side of COVID, same side of very intricate, nuanced science and or events that have as much pro as there is con, and maybe more con than there is pro, but they're all going to be on one side of it. Even though there's many scientists who would tell you about COVID and have alternative viewpoints, and same with climate change. I mean, they just... Bill Gates just came out with climate today. Oh, we got to do more to prevent and less to stop, or whatever.
Just today did. We got to get back to poverty, fighting poverty. Don't worry, so climate change is a real issue, but we're not
I think what he's saying is, look, build seawalls. Don't try to stop internal combustion engines. You know what I mean? Like, be practical about this. Which is what, of course, I've always said.
Yes.
But anyway, it's a popularity contest. That's Hollywood. And now there's social media. So everything's a popularity contest. So then when something like COVID comes along, then everyone who's in a popularity contest follows suit accordingly. I am in an accuracy contest, not a popularity contest. That's and if more of you looked at yourself as being involved with an accuracy contest versus a popularity contest, then we would have a better society.
Agreed. And Mondami, the one thing he's zeroed into, I mean, he's mostly championing stuff that the old white female
they
likes.
scrubbed that video, huh? It's funny when they scrub Garcetti's video.
Interesting.
All right, I will read it, even though the way the font comes up here in this black with this thing, I don't know if we can ever fix that, Andrew. Sometimes you can type up here. Oh, it's the cut and the paste part, but there it is. No one needs a second chance more urgently than our formerly incarcerated sisters and brothers.
Wow.
Yeah, cons you talking about are formerly incarcerated. And New Roads to Second Chances gives people a chance to rebuild their lives through the dignity of work. Merrick Garcetti said, yes, this is not the quote. The quote is, we owe them our gratitude.
But you can see the way he's going.
Yes, later on he says, I know, but that's why I kept saying our gratitude. When they let them out, they paid their debt to society, and we, as a society, owe them our gratitude for
paying their debt.
Burning down a gas station 4 years earlier, or stabbing an elderly person on the subway. But we owe them a debt of gratitude. Right. Now, that's Eric Garcetti. Now, he's a pussy, and now he's banished. I don't know, as ambassador to...
We get somebody better?
No. We got DEI higher next, which is the other thing. We got something?
Video-wise? Oh, here it is.
Eric Garcetti did not say we owe them our gratitude. That quote is a fabrication that originated in the City Watch on the piece, which criticized Los Angeles officials. He said it, though.
I remember him saying it.
He said it. So, not sure where this
is just what's popping up on Google.
Garcetti said
that's on Google.
Wait. The piece was criticized Los Angeles officials in the quote. Okay. Garcetti never actually made the statement, but he made something like that.
Yes, he said gratitude.
Yes, I remember him saying gratitude.
Other Garcetti quotes on gratitude.
Or thank them for their, service, they're paying their debt.
No, he said gratitude.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's on there. It may have got scrubbed, and that also is Google doing whatever Google is doing.
Look at Grok, see if it comes out different.
See if Grok.
Be very interesting.
Yeah, that is interesting.
While he's doing that, I'm sure you're watching the World Series. There's that ad they keep playing with the guy with the multiple Super Bowl rings who's actually working in a warehouse.
Yeah, I saw that.
I think that somehow that it feels like there's a cultural moment in that ad when he goes, the ad is, the conceit is he has all the knowledge of Tom Brady about football, and he's talking to all his friends that work in the warehouse or who are clerks and things about these very advanced, so to speak, football ideas. And at the end of every one of his statements about how to split the linebackers, he'd always go, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? And at the end, the announcer goes, it turns out they did not know what he was saying. And I thought that is funny. And it's a moment. All right, here we are. Society and a gratitude. There it is. While people have paid their debt to while people have paid the debt to society, our debt of gratitude should be not just thanking them. There it is. But thanking them for their service, but allowing them a pathway back in. Now I'm pissed. The fuck is wrong with Google search?
Well, I'm smarter than computers. I've said it a million times. I told you he said it.
Yeah.
I told you he said we owe them our gratitude, debt of gratitude.
Google
says
I didn't contradict you. I just said Google said that. That's coming from per their AI.
No, we understand. But the point is, he's better than AI.
The interesting thing is that it always comes out in vehement defense whenever you type this into Google.
That's so fucked up. That is so fucked up.
It will fuck Google. Because you won't get the truth. And by the way, if you're arguing with, Bald Brian, he'll go, Google, see?
Or he'll say this is false because Google says it is.
Shut up, Drew. Why do you do that? Why do you do that?
Because people will say.
No, he won't. No, he'll Google it, he'll show it to you, and he'll go, see, and then he'll walk away. He won't say this is false. Why do you always do that, Drew?
Because
Why
I'm
can't
worried.
you just go with what it was?
Because I had to fuck with your jokes.
I know. Well, not jokes, examples.
But
that's how it would work.
Okay, so.
But that's how anybody would do it. They would Google it, they'd go, see, it was just a thing, and then they'd make you think you were wrong.
But aren't you afraid that somebody will then Google this and Google will defend it, saying that's false, this Grok posting is false, what point is I don't want people to do that.
All right, quiet. You know what you're talking about. Right. I know what you're saying, but you never get the point. The point is this. There is no audio of this, because I've heard, why has the audio been scrubbed? Yeah. That's what I'm saying.
See what Grok says. He's looking for the video through Grok. It's not. Ooh. Is that it?
But it's interesting that Google said no. And Google just said what? This is formally.
This was quoted by somebody on the right. And therefore it's wrong.
Right. All right. This is interesting. All right.
Here's an audio clip of it.
There is?
Is that what they're saying?
Well, I've heard an audio clip of it.
There it is.
All right.
Holy shit.
Yeah, but we don't have it. You're just saying it's there, right?
It's on KFI.
I heard it.
Yeah, no, I know. Here it is. Here we go. He's got the link.
All right.
Hopefully.
No, I think it's been
next
scrubbed. I think it's been scrubbed.
This might be for the next show.
Yeah, for the next show.
Deep dive.
We'll do the deep dive. But all right, Google. I'm interested in this because I knew it existed because I heard it.
If they don't have it up there, see if they can dig it out somewhere.
All right. I'm going to be at Flappers tonight here in Burbank doing stand-up, and then I'm going to be in Boston at the Wilbur Theater, which is beautiful. That'll be November 6th. 7th, Buffalo, New York, Electric City. Duluth. Oh, with Megan Kelly. Yeah. Go to adamcarolla.com for all the live shows. What do you got, Drew?
Dr.com. Check out Ask Dr. Drew Tuesday and Thursday at 2 Pacific and Wednesday at 4.
So, till next time, Adam Carolla for Dr. Drew saying mahalo.